Welcome back to Guns of the Patriots. So, Sunny's still on the web. Hopefully she doesn't accidentally discover porn.
I mean, she's got a... Okay. It's interesting that she's working more on the computer than she is on the eggs, though, for once. Perhaps she has found her calling instead as a computer programmer instead of a cooker of eggs.
Well, Snake is about to start.
There you go, Shira, look at that.
Fantastic.
You can play as PS1 Snake.
I don't like that.
Beautiful.
Hey, Shira, that was very impressive graphics for 1998.
It's just so weird seeing it here.
You can also mask yourself as Raiden, but I'm gonna go with the default look for the sake of, Alright, we'll leave the auto cam on auto, and yeah, seems fine.
Also, accidentally discovering porn would probably be pretty traumatizing for a small child, but at the same time, Sunny's probably seen a lot worse.
You say that, Shira, and yet me and Vanessa are still here fine and dandy. So...
Also, I get the idea Autocon is the kind of preventive person that probably apply the protection to the devices that Sunny uses.
And knowing Sunny, she can hack through those.
God damn it.
Beauty and Beast.
I put it this way, Shira, not every child is made equal.
Perhaps Sunny will be just fine.
Sunny will be fine. Oh,
Stop
That's the
monkeying
monkey.
around.
yeah, it's the remember Draben's
Ooh.
monkey that says something whenever we go to his shop. So a monkey. Anyway, let's see what's we have in here. Not much. All right, so there's no passage in here like last time, so let's go through here. Okay.
Jeez, somebody forgot to close the doors. The whole base is now getting cold.
Another rat. Ah, look at that. It's just like we left it. Oh. Yes, Arakan?
I don't see any enemies around here. Okay, we'll go through the door all the way at the back.
Otacon, last time around we had a few complications and wound up going through the commander's office in the basement.
That is true.
That's right. I remember now. But there's no need to go all the way down there this time, right? The back door takes us straight where we
It's so much easier. It's so much easier this time than 10 years ago.
Let's get to the back door.
Well, there's nobody here.
Yeah. You see, we've talked about the whole. You see, Joa, we people on the internet like to joke about the whole, Oppenheimer is gonna make you feel the explosions and shit. This game makes you feel old if you grew up with Metal Gear.
Unless you join the series when you're about, say, 5 and you're just getting into it now, in which case, feel free to feel young while making us envious.
Okay, in the meantime, I tried to search information about what we know about the BB unit, about how it felt out, because we have seen that Pedro has been using, lethal methods to defeat them, but we get the cutscenes about them, being as they are defeated non-lethal.
Yeah.
I was wondering if it's because the game is on easy mode and maybe it's registering that, but nothing here explains it, so I don't know what to tell you folks.
Are you sure,
Hold on, guys.
that maybe...
Wait. Oh, that's right. They're no longer operating, so the fast travel method of the cardboard box doesn't work anymore.
Damn it.
Damn it. Nobody's here to drive the truck.
Maybe another
So,
time.
they actually bring back that fast travel. Well, not fast travel. Like it's kind of brought back in MGS5.
Well, Snake got to enjoy being a cat for those few seconds.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Yes, Arakan?
Huh? Snake, that door is locked.
How do I open it?
Security is shut down altogether.
Well, first you have to get the first car key, which leads you to the second car key, and then get the third
hold on, Joe.
car key.
Then you have to run a mile and back the way you came.
Don't worry, Joe. We're actually going to address that in a few minutes.
Unlock the door from there. And if you check the facility records, we can find out Rex's status and who's been in and out. You remember where it is, Snake?
I'm not senile yet.
Yes, I'm not senile yet, Otacon.
Putting it on your map.
Remember, I got aged artificially, not naturally.
You're no.
Password is
I'm actually 21.
4273. Think you can remember that?
I told you.
I told you I'm not senile, Otacon.
Snake, that sounds like someone wants to convince themselves to that.
Yeah, Grandpa, let's get you to bed.
And by the way, Shiroi, when Otacon says that, he means it. He just told you the password, and you're expected to remember it. So this is your own test if you're not senile yet. If you can remember the password up when you get there.
I'm writing it down. Fuck that.
Power the elevator.
Also,
Try the
I
elevator.
hold on.
See if it's working.
Okay. Interesting enough, if the beast form of the BB are defeated non-lethally, with exception of Screaming Mantis, which we'll see later. A statue can be obtained during the beauty stage, you can find it around. And if you collect all of them, you unlock a weapon that is an Easter egg from Boktai, a GBA game that Kojima worked on.
Yeah.
Especially the solar gun, it's called.
Yeah, I was about to say the solar gun. I remember that from the collaborations it did with the Mega Man Battle Network series.
Oh, and look at that. The elevator still works the same way, the same camera angle and everything.
No invisible people are around this time.
Also, one thing that's interesting, thanks to the power of the PS3, unlike the original game where it was all separated by various areas with loading times in between, the entirety of Shadow was rendered as one big seamless area this time.
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, for those who...
First,
oh.
go down the central hallway. Don't worry.
Oh, look at that, guys. Remember when we threw a missile in this part?
Yeah, the guided missile. For
And
those who don't know... Sorry, go on.
there's no security this time, so we can just waltz in. Okay. Alright, now we're going...
Yeah.
No, actually, we're about to get one of my favorite bits, so hold on.
Alright.
So let's go in here, see what we can find.
Good old Otacon's office.
Oh, we found Metal Gear 20 Years History from the Metal Gear Music Collection 20th Anniversary album.
Wait! Hold on, how did you have music from Metal Gear Solid 2 when Metal Gear Solid 2 wasn't made yet, Otacon?
You created a time paradox.
Alright, let's see. Oh, there you go. Listen to this.
Otacon, we're just moving. We cannot have a call you 2
Looks
seconds.
exactly like I remember it.
I know, right?
That wall way in back, anyway. I still can't believe how much damage you caused in such a small space.
Hey, Dingus, you helped us out with some of that damage.
This is literally the video game equivalent of two old people reminiscing about their youth.
But I'm not old!
This thing takes up so much space. It hardly leaves any room.
Yes,
You know,
are.
honest. Okay, I'll admit, it might have actually been interesting if it was legit just everyone got old.
You're right. The wiring past the switch circuits.
Well, technically they did. It's just that Snake is the oldest.
Well, you know what I mean, like, as old as Snake is
As long as you
now.
don't turn the current back on.
Yeah, just don't turn the current back on and you should be fine, Snake.
First objective, turn the current on.
Of course. I mean, I honestly would not put that past a Metal Gear Solid.
No, that would be...
cheeky
Again,
like
my
that.
favorite
That's
usage
the-
of that is in... Portable
That's the Dwibs twist that he inserted in while
My
Kojima wasn't looking.
favorite spin on that is in Doom Eternal, in which...
Look at that! Look at that! The panel is still blown up. There you go.
You're saying to you?
The AI companion that you had of sorts,
Yeah.
Dr. Samuel, which has been basically the straight man, has been trying to tell you into reason. The essential thing is that you're supposed to... Hold on, flashback. Oh. Actually, sound effects, because
Oh,
it was the
yeah.
corridor in which Grey Foxes slaughtered a bunch of soldiers.
Yeah. The attention to detail is amazing, but
remember when people died? So much
Someone
memories.
apparently cleaned all the...
well, that's the thing. That's the whole point, Dwibs. Like you're just like Snake. You're feeling the pain of an old wound.
I guess the idea is that the military cleaned up the bodies, but pretty much left everything else, including Metal Gear Rex, intact.
And the facility records are, guess what? In the original place where Snake and Otacon met for the first
Which
time.
means we're gonna have more flashbacks.
Here it is. This is where we fought Grey Fox and where we first met Otacon.
And where Otacon pissed himself.
In fear, yeah.
Good times.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's the locker. There's the locker where he hid in. It's
Hold on. I want to check security.
Snake. Yeah, lift.
Give it a little boost.
Snake.
looks like he needs a shot. Yeah.
Don't you just hate it when the entire world is literally out to get you and your nanomachines?
Sorry, Otacon, carry on.
Snake, that password I...
All right. What was the password again?
Password.
It's a numbered it's a numbered code.
Wait, Otacon forgot?
I think he's just trolling.
All right. So now you can have two variations of this cutscene depending on whether or not you get the password right, and I'll show both.
Save the better one for last.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 1, 1, 1.
All right. So let's get it wrong first.
Otacon died.
That was actually the self-destruct sequence.
Let's see. Oh.
Beep.
Snake,
Nope.
I think maybe your memory... Don't worry. I'm sure I can remember.
Yeah, that was totally just Otacon testing him.
Well, let's see. Oh, I jotted it down.
See? Writing it down.
Wait, hold on, Otacon. So Snake forgets it, that's a thing, but how do you forget it when you literally have it jotted down right next to you?
What?
Like that
Oh,
doesn't
that's
even
six
go
idea.
right?
What? I knew the number. I just remembered it. Right.
Sure, Snake.
Well,
Sure, Snake.
Remembered it at
Okay.
the same time.
I would say again, take your meds, but you just literally told me.
Yeah, he literally just did that actually. Yeah.
Although, keep in mind, guys, if Otacon is to be believed, he completely forgot about the number while he had it jotted down right next to him, so maybe they're both going senile.
But I
many
mean, one of
things
these
to talk
people is a
about.
super weapon. If their memory's a bit shot, something is wrong.
All right, and now this is actually really sweet. Time for some reminiscing.
It's gonna take a little work.
I guess you're saving the get it right cutscene
For later. For later. Yeah. Don't worry, you'll see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was right
That
here.
happened.
It's not conjuring up any unpleasant memories, is it?
Gotta electrocute it.
I was being attacked by...
Hold on, listen here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I remember.
If you hadn't shown up when you did... gives me the shivers just thinking about it.
So much so that the Mark III even emotes for it.
Naomi hated them for what they did to Frank's body. But it was me that crippled him in the first place. She must have hated me too.
So much
Yeah.
about giving in the fox die.
Yeah.
We shouldn't have been so trusting.
Hold on, listen here. Because Snake actually has something to say about that.
I helped develop Rex. That's why it was so easy for me to believe her feelings were genuine. But she was only using us to atone for her sins.
So what? What did she do to us?
You forgot already? She betrayed you. She stole your blood.
South America. Why'd she join us afterward?
That is a good point. Why would she gain from that?
She has us come rescue her, and then she turns around and goes straight back to Liquid. Why would she do that?
She's indecisive.
For Liquid to obtain the location of Big Mama's.
So I guess there's still something here that we don't quite get the full picture, but we'll see. Let's put a pin on that for now.
Security access logs.
I mean, I know the feeling about being indecisive, so...
In fact, the record shows some recent activity.
Let me say,
Well,
you're partly.
I want to mention something about that interaction in particular. You know, Otacon talking about how he saved his Snake saved his life, and how he's grateful and everything.
Well.
Speaking of-
Oh, look who's here. Speak of the devil, and or rather, speak of the vampire. But
Vampire and the devil.
the beauty, or rather, the Beauty and the Beast,
I
Jova.
get it.
But anyway, see, this is the thing for me, Jova. Like, I get that you're a fan. I get that you're a shipper of Snake and Meryl. But to me, the bro ship between these two is overall the best.
Well, that's fine and all. I just feel like Snake and Meryl's a couple got done dirty and off screen, but we've already discussed that. Oh. That being said, Snake and Hal do still make a
Hey, look, a
great
police knot. Oh, look, the police knots poster is still there.
To be fair, now Otacon has
Oh,
his
hold on.
wallpaper.
Look at that, Jova. See, it's been 9 years. We don't need no key cards anymore. There you go, Jova. That's the positive side of this. We don't need key cards anymore.
See, getting old isn't all bad. Technology
Yeah, exactly.
is on.
Yeah.
Shame a lot of that technology is potentially being used to destroy us all, but
All right. So now,
What can you do about it?
now let's actually redo that, but with the correct password this time. See what happens.
Wrong.
Yeah, it's Kevin Spacey jump scaring you.
Nice job. At least your memory hasn't gone bad.
he sounds like such a proud doctor.
And that's it. That's why I went with the losing memory bit as the
Yeah,
default one
it's more
because
elaborate and probably makes
Which is
more
funny,
sense
yeah.
story-wise.
It should open.
I feel like either one is fine story-wise. Like, you know, again, for as much as Snake has gotten old, we never really get any scenes prior suggesting that he legit is going senile.
the older I get, and every time I replay this, it resonates all the more with me because I relate to Snake more each time I replay this bit.
Gray Fox. Colonel, that ninja is Gray Fox. Ridiculous. You yourself in Zanzibar land.
Yes, he should have been killed, but he's still alive.
What?
They were using a soldier for their gene therapy experiments.
Alright, gene therapy. And who did we find out started those gene therapy experiments? Why, our good old friend Paramedic.
Always work alone.
Didn't
Thanks,
turn out well.
America.
Oh, hold on.
Wait.
Let's just get out.
All right, and we got some dropping points.
The bromance is what truly happens when the jock and the nerd at school can actually hang out together.
Exactly.
They do make an unstoppable team.
Basically.
I mean,
9 years and they're still going at it strong.
Snake is the guy in the field, whereas Otacon is his guy in the chair.
Works out at the library.
Well, remember too, it's like in the Spider-Man Home trilogy where Peter has his own guy, as he himself calls himself, the guy in the chair. So
You need to exercise mind and muscle.
Anyway,
that's why they're perfect for each other. Shiroy, Snake's the muscle, and Otacon's the brain. So they perfectly complement each other. Go on.
Anyway, just to mention, in case no one knows, because again, so far Konami hasn't really re-released it for possibly logistical reason. I get the idea it's possible, but it requires a bit of working. Bokta is a series of games, portable games that rely on the gimmick of literally going outside. Because the GBA cartridges has to register the amount of sunlight it's receiving, and depending on that, you actually are more effective against the enemies or not. So you want to get good at the game, go outside. Also, just to mention to people I was mentioning before, again in Doom Eternal, you had this AI companion that's supposed to be the straight man, but the Doom Marine continues to do whatever the fuck he wants. At some point, the idea is that you're supposed to reach a location on Mars that is buried very deep underground with no real way of transporting you there. So, registering what you're probably thinking, the AI tells you you cannot just shoot a hole through the surface of Mars, and that's literally your next objective.
Alright. Shio, a question, and don't worry, I'm going somewhere with this. When you first saw the Tangled movie, was it back in 2010 when it first came out?
I don't know, honestly.
Okay, but it was like fairly close to its original release date, right? I'm guessing it wasn't that far, right? So think of this. This is kind of also the equivalent of what we saw in the Tangled series, where Rapunzel had to go back to the tower. So. All right.
To an extent, it's kind of similar how in universe, Cloud and Tifa eventually ends up going back via their journey to Nibelheim after a 5-year incident, and they're a bit flabbergasted by it. And for the player is how the raid of Midgar at the end of these two is a bit of a revisitation of locations you saw at the beginning of the game.
And I guess with Advent Children, technically when we do go back to some of the locations...
I already explained that I do believe it's not really conveyed that well, particularly in locations.
It's not. It's not. Trust me. We definitely agree on that. But, as for what they were trying to convey with that.
What's wrong?
So now Otacon will pick the lock, and the problem is... Oh my god.
The goblins are coming.
No, Theo. You know how the raptors know how to open doors? Apparently the geckos know how to use elevators!
Sure. Let's go with that.
So basically, what this means is that we have to distract the gecko so that Otacon can pick the lock. It takes him 2 minutes to pick the lock, so distract the gecko for 2 minutes. Go on.
And apparently the Mark III cannot go invisible while lock picking.
I did not think of that for some reason.
My design oversight.
You know what's funny when you think about it?
Having an escort mission where your target is supposedly the one opening a door is fairly common, so yeah.
Fortunately,
it's
relatively easy to handle this gecko. You know why? Here's my strategy that I usually use. Come here. Hold on, you'll see. There you go. Now you just make him walk in circles.
I mean, that's the number one strategy that people have to effectively, outrun the chasers in the Outlast games. Apparently, get into a room where you can go around an object.
Ha. Follow me, you idiot. Go on, Jova.
I mean, I'm glad that the gecko is considered enough to not stomp on the missiles and making them explode.
Haha, the game did not the game's programming doesn't allow you to do that. Go on, Jova.
Although, I suppose they have self-preservation enough, but it's funny when you think about it, how Metal Gearing we're getting here. Like, remember, Mark III is technically a miniature Metal Rex, essentially. And we're being pursued by a gecko, which, while a smaller Metal Gear, is still a Metal Gear nonetheless. We're also trying to get to the original Metal Gear Rex.
How is Steak fitting 9,999 rations in?
Because video game pocket space.
Like to remind,
he has just the right bandana for the job.
Of course.
To remind you,
infinite ammo.
This is a franchise where I think in the first game, your main strategy to go through one of the last rooms, which has a permanently electrified floor, and the the comms tell you to just wing it, is that you need to take a few steps, eat the rations to regain health and move on. So Snake is literally curing being electrocuted while eating while running on.
Look at it this way, Dubs. Look at it this way, Dubs. How do Pokemon trainers carry 99 of every item they have all at once exactly?
Forgot,
have a
was 99
satchel on them.
was 99 also the limit in Gen 1?
Yes,
Each
99.
object? Okay.
Yes.
Something-
You could supersede that using the missing number glitch, but that's a glitch. Like if you just keep to how the game was intended, it's 99 maximum.
I forgot, was Gen 2
I love
the
how-
one that introduced the multiple different sections of the item section?
Yes,
or-
started in Gen 2. And Gen 2 is the one that introduced the concept of the bag having different sections.
In the
Yes.
compartment.
Yes.
Good enough. Yes, Jova?
I love how the missing number glitch is so popular that it's practically almost canon at this point.
It's just funny, Jova, because in my country, the glitch of Gen 1 that was more famous compared to missing was instead the island number one that you get by hacking through specific conditions near the Safari Zone. It's still relatively famous. It got referenced in Pony Island of all things, but not as much as missing except here in my country where everybody talked about specifically that. Cannot speak for the rest of the world, obviously.
Obviously.
As for me personally, my favorite glitch is the one that lets you get a flipping Gengar as early as Viridian Forest.
All right.
Pokemon Yellow.
What? Aren't you a true believer of you being under the truck?
Oh yes, that
Cutscene.
glitch. I probably will
I
make
think
use
this
of that
location is
too.
instead near where Sniper
Yeah,
Wolf
this
died.
location might be familiar to you. Yes, this is the place where we fought Sniper Wolf.
Boy, sure would be interesting if we fought her successor here too.
Jova, that would be, very coincidental.
Time is a flat circle,
Alright.
like Badgie likes to say.
No, we fought Raven back in Eastern Europe.
And there she is. Crying Wolf, played by Deborah Wilson and Fred Tatashura. Interesting.
Why Deborah Wilson?
Wilson Skeleton.
Where have I heard that name before?
Wait, it said Deborah Wilson Skelter, so I think it might be a different Deborah Wilson now that I think about it. Because the Deborah Wilson I know is the one from Matt TV, who was in Series 1 of Matt TV with Phil Lamar.
And yeah, by the
Deborah
way,
Wilson Skeleton?
the sniper rifle that she's using is not exactly a combo one. If I recall correctly, it does double as a mini railgun.
Well, Pedro, I have good news for you. That is the same Deborah Wilson from Mad TV.
Oh, great! I love Deborah Wilson.
What is she doing here?
Okay, to be fair, she actually has been in a few video games.
Yeah, she's a.
Mirror's Edge, Catalyst,
She's not.
Wolfenstein.
Like her career as a voice actress didn't take off as much as Phil Lamar's did, but she still has one.
She's also in Diablo 4 as well, Tio.
Oh, okay. Let me check again. Just.
She was in
Oh,
Star
okay.
Wars.
No, I recognize her now. She's the one who plays your mentor of sorts in the Star Wars Jedi recent duology.
In 2022, she actually started voicing Daisy Duck, so I'd say she's doing pretty good now.
Fair enough.
So yeah, Laughing Octopus could not stop laughing. Raging Raven could not stop being angry, and Crying Wolf, as the name implies, cannot stop crying.
So you need to point to there and laugh.
Let's show her what's like a. Hey, Liz, maybe you think maybe Red Dwarf will be good for that.
For what, sorry?
For stop
Cheering someone
for cheering up someone.
Well, if she enjoys if she enjoys a show where the premise is someone being the only human alive, then yeah.
Actually, that's a good point. Maybe we'll pick something a bit.
Well, if you want something with a similar premise, but that's inherently also more funny for the sake of parody, maybe MST3K.
Okay, so yeah, that could work. Okay, so the boss battle against Crying Wolf evolves to this, of course. We have to find her and shoot her, and she, of course, has a sniper. You can also use your own sniper if you want. Unlike the Sniper Wolf boss battle, where it was mostly just a sniper duel, where you could just stay in one spot for the most part and just try your best to shoot her whenever she tried to attack you, and she, of course, you had to make her visible for that. In here, however, Crying Wolf is running for this entire area, so aside from a sniper battle, it's also a chase. You also have to chase her around, and she has her own goons that also try to kill you, so you also have to be careful with them. Fortunately, they do go down easy, so... Go on.
It's like a combination of the Sniper Wolf fight and the end fight from Metal Gear Solid 3, wherein it's a duel in Winter Wonderland, but like the end, you do actually have to move around the field a lot more.
Sure, that works.
And like I said, her weapon of choice is not just a normal sniper rifle, as you saw in the cutscene.
No, she's got a tail sniper rifle, because I guess whoever made the BB units was a fan of Looney Tunes.
Cannot blame them, I guess. So you're telling me that the Acme Corporation sponsored these?
Maybe.
Okay,
I'm actually
I can't believe them going full into the nano machines when it comes to the future.
BBs versus Acme.
I'm actually referencing the bullfighting cartoon because there's a point where the bull gets a gun
There
stuck
she
in
is.
his tail, which allows him to fire bullets in the swarms. But yeah.
If I recall correctly, explosives are more effective against her because, you know, her body's a bit more bulky.
They are, but the thing is, it can be difficult because it took her a while to use, and she can run away very fast.
No, what I mean is that if I recall correctly, you're very encouraged to use the grenade launcher you got from Laughing Raven.
You mean Raging Raven?
Raging Raven, sorry, but I'm confusing emotions. My bad.
Hey, not for nothing, but don't you think it's a little overcomplicated that you try and snipe me when you could try and maul me to death with your wolf mech when you think
I
about
need to stay on brand.
Yeah, I gotta stay
I'm
on.
upset. I can't think clearly.
That is true. Yes.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, I blame the makers.
Yeah. Occasionally, it also changed to a little point of view shot from her to give you a hint of where she might be, basically.
I like when games do that with sniper fights, even in Kingdom Hearts 2 with Zigbar.
Ow.
Fuck. All part of the plan, folks. All part of the plan.
Of course, trust in the plan.
Trust in the plan.
So Pedro, which is your favorite BB unit?
Maybe Laughing Octopus, because I really like the gimmick of her disguising herself as multiple things and trying to trick you. Alright, let's see. Come on. Wolfie, Wolfie! Wolfie, Wolfie!
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm not sure that's how it works.
Where am I going? I feel like
We're literally right in the open. I already
feel like you should have an easier time spotting me than I spot you.
And she does have, and as we noted earlier for the cut, they showed us for the cutscene that she does have night vision as well, like I do, so she should have relatively... yeah, the night vision goggles in particular are practically essential for this particular fight because it's of course much harder to see everything in the middle of a blizzard, but thanks to the night vision, you can always see the bodies as white forms, so... Ooh!
I love how she does a flip after you shoot her. It's like, well, I know I'm going out, but I must look majestic while I do it.
Of course, good old ragdoll physics.
Yep.
Oh no, the thing is, it's such a graceful somersault and sideways flip. It's like, jeez, what are they packing those bullets?
Ow.
Gravity bull?
It's okay, she missed me.
You know, with all due respect, you have all the advantage here. In fact, you probably are firmly warm inside that thing.
It's okay. You'll also notice that Snake's oh, there she is. There you go. See, basically, yeah, she runs away quite fast, as you can see. So,
Gotta snipe
Okay.
fast.
You know, okay, you know what? I also realized something. Her mech design reminds me of you-know-who from Metal Gear Rising, to you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right down to the way the tail moves as well.
I guess, but that one doesn't prefers to use the CQC weapons rather than shooting ones.
You also notice that Snake's stress is rising because of the cold.
You know, the more I think about it, I guess Metal Gear Rising could legit just be considered like the companion piece to Metal Gear Solid 4 in a lot of ways.
Like I said, one of the things that detracts a couple of people from it is because it has the structure of your typical Metal Gear, but because of, you know, its more emphasis on grandiosity and sometimes, you know, self-awareness, can make it look to some like a parody of the typical tropes of a franchise, which to some extent I can understand, but I do believe it's sounding good and fun, and the story in itself is still relatively serious. I mean, the fucked up stuff that Desperado does is still there. So it's not played for laughs.
Admittedly, they do go so over the top, but I can understand why people may have been confused about it here and there. Like, again, Metal Gear Rising has had one of the most interesting trajectories I've seen. Like, I guess we really can chalk it up to the Max OR video endearing it to people, but I swear, it was almost out of nowhere how suddenly it just shot up in popularity.
Also,
Whereas as usual, I'm the guy who says Metal Gear Rising was always amazing, you cowards.
I also since these when we're recording this, it's been the 10 years have passed from that too. I get the idea, Jova, it's roughly in that time period where where people who played it had grew up a bit enough to feel some level of nostalgia to it.
It's because,
I guess in a sense,
it's because Metal Gear Rising is a near flawless over-the-top action and slash, like the kind that only Platinum can make.
Okay, I'm not sure I'd call it near flawless. It definitely has a good share of flaws, but I do agree that it is a very, very fun time. And it definitely is. Okay,
it was also because they applied the reasonably over-the-top action and the type of humor, self-awareness, and everything. It's a trademark that Platinum was having strictly at the time. You cannot, because again, I need to make the specification because over time they sorta lost it a bit, and I don't mean necessarily negative, but for creating something like, say, Nier Automata, since that one had instead more involved for Kotaro, that one is less present. Somewhere it's still a bit here and there, but not as much, in terms of trademark Platinum flavor. But instead, if you played back then, the major games that they were pumping out, so Bayonetta, Vanquish, Anarchy Reigns,
Wonderful 101.
Okay, we're 101. Wonderful 101 happened a bit later, but yeah, that can count too. They had this kind of shared thing in common about being very over the top and sometimes having a bit outlandish humor. Again, a trademark that Ikamiya had coined for stuff like God Hand and Beautiful Joe. Okami to a lesser extent, because that game takes itself a bit more seriously, but it's still present in that too. So when it came to making Rising, they still applied that, and that's why you get stuff like, Sam and Sandow were making shit-eating green face, despite the fact that they're horribly slaughtering an entire PMC worth of African soldiers, poor bastards.
Also, Tio, Wonderful 101 came out in 2013, so I'd say that was kind of around the time of
like I said, it still came around
Bayonetta.
the same time.
Also, yeah, I will say this about Rising, it certainly has some choice dialogue. Well, I'm not saying that in the sense that it's bad, but in terms of just how over the top it got. Ahem. And I quote, like the good old days after 9/11.
I think that's actually one of the more part of the charm, Jova. Yeah, again,
yes,
Shiroi,
Roy, that is legit.
there is context to that phrase.
To be fair, you have to hear it in context to understand.
Whatever. Moving on.
That's what he was saying.
Go on.
But like Metal Gear Rising is a crazy time, but I honestly, I never hated it. Granted, admittedly, I got into the Metal Gear franchise I think into the Metal Gear franchise actually around the time that Ground Zero came out. So by that point in time, you know,
fool!
don't blast me.
That's sad. Like the fact you got into Metal Gear just as Konami was starting to kill it.
It can happen, unfortunately. Like
admittedly,
Stan Lee said, every comic is someone's first.
Yeah.
Admittedly, it's kind of similar to how... Okay. When it comes to Mega Man, I was already into Metal Man, to Battle Network and Star Force, but I wasn't really into the classic series until the times of Mighty Number 9, which drew my attention to how Capcom were treating it badly. So, ironically, that was when I got into, like, the classic Mega Man stuff and whatnot. I mean, I guess on the one hand, it helped spare me the pain of having to wait as long, or at least it also spared me the pain when it came to Legends, because at least I was aware what I was getting into with 2, and it's ending, which... How many years has it been now?
Long enough.
Yeah. I do think that sometimes entering in, you know, after the drama has come and passed, I mean, not saying that the drama of Konami had passed to that point, but you get what I mean. Like, sometimes I guess, in a way, getting to play Rising, you know, after it had already gone for its controversial point, like, let me put it like this. I was aware of Rising at the time, like, there was a lot of talk about it, but I wasn't into, like, the Metal Gear series as much then, but by the time later when I finally got to play Rising, you know, the controversies had more or less come and passed. It was a split deal. It was before it had seen its rise in popularity. But,
there you go. Also,
yeah,
what Otacon says, when Crying Wolf actually gets out, as like in the cutscene to shoot you with a railgun, that's when she's at the most vulnerable, and as such, her gun will do more damage, like Pedro showcased.
Exactly.
Anyway, you starting to you?
Well, okay, when it comes to Metal Gear, while I actually didn't really play it myself until properly Rising when it came out, I was still surrounded by people, particularly in forums that I was frequenting, but they were playing a lot of Metal Gear, and as such, they did told me about stuff about it, you know, these were friends and everything. So I was at the very least aware of it, even if I did not particularly took part in it and everything. So there is that. But honestly, let's hear Rosemary.
In psychology, crying is thought of as a way to freely express and release feelings. That beast cries and cries without stopping. There must be some immense sadness in her, the stress of which is tormenting
That's
her
good to
mentally
know,
and
Rose,
physically.
but how does this
Crying
help
is
me?
the only way she can deal with it.
Thanks, Rosa.
Well,
That's my contributions.
Well, and this actually is.
Cold places your body under intense stress and wears
That is
away
true.
at your psyche.
You
Finding
don't
a place to
say.
take shelter should prevent your gauge from draining. Keep an eye out for something like that and use it to your advantage.
I joke, but it is a helpful player tip at least.
I just noticed, I think Rose actually was wearing one of those Virgin Killer sweaters.
Interesting.
And she was doing the eye over hair thing.
Like I said before, my story is much more typical. Started off back in the late 90s with MGS1, and worked my way up.
Oh, that's the thing, Pedro. A lot of the people here in my country are basically the same as you. That from mine in your generation, that they did grow up with MGS Metal Gear as it came out. I just happened to instead. You know, being given stuff like RPGs and and platformers instead. But I can easily believe that, you know, if back when I was a kid I was given MGS1, I probably would have, you know, played it entirely back then.
You know, it's interesting looking back at the old days of gaming where we could miss out on entire games in a rather lore-heavy series and not know about it, since that's kind of what happened with America. Like, sure, we got the first Metal Gear game in NES format, and you already know the story with that, but it was still a hit. However, the second game was Snake's Revenge, and then we got Metal Gear Solid 1.
Alright.
It's an unfortunate thing that thankfully these days is a bit mitigated, but overall, you know, persisted, and it's not even without a clear consistency, because sometimes it's America that only gets a game and Europe doesn't. Sometimes it's Europe that did get it while America didn't. Other times there was no localization whatsoever and people had to rely on fan translations for rounds a bit all over the place. But thankfully these days it seems that things are a bit more uniform, and games tend to be released even if they might not seem like they will be localized. So at the very least I'm more grateful than that, especially because via series, via process, it means that in some kind of way they will be able to be preserved for the future eventually, when technology catches up enough to appropriate relation.
I just like the hilarity of companies realizing, wait, you mean we could be making more money actually translating and selling our games to other people who have constantly said over and over they want to play them? Oh snap. No,
Good doggy.
No mating trust, no mating
There you go.
Hey, things were about to get real there.
Oh.
I guess we had to put the dog...
Oh. It's a bit cold outside. You sure you want to do this?
Who designed the suits to have that weird look? Since we see that when they power down, they look just fine. Otherwise, they look all
reflect either their emotions or something attached to their state. In this case, if I
you'll notice that the suit is alternating between its default place and the collar, so it's malfunctioning right now.
The color is supposed to probably represent, muscle tissue. I think I'll need to listen to what the proper backstory is afterwards.
And the mask fell off.
Is there a Mad TV skit that fits into this, Pedro?
No, I don't think I can think of one on the spot.
Stop it! Stop!
I mean, well, actually, how about the one where Deborah Wilson plays Oprah? Like, that one's good, I guess, because basically, Jova, there's a season 1 skit of Mad TV that's a Oprah Winfrey spoof, and Deborah Wilson plays Oprah, and she goes complete mad. So maybe?
Oh, it's a phantom wolf.
Don't come any closer.
Is she shivering in fear or cold?
Probably both.
I get the idea we should do this in a more proper place, inside, like Rose suggested.
Assuming we leave her here after defeating her, do you think maybe we should leave her close to a heater or something?
I'm sorry. You can cry if you want. Cry if you need to.
Is this a bad time?
No. I don't need tears anymore. So cry. As much as you like.
No, thank you.
We'll be there to listen.
I'm good.
Oh, dynamic transitioning.
That's right. We're fancy today.
Yeah, just trank her.
Yes, trank her.
Whoa, need some dodging too.
Get up.
Now, don't we want her to go to sleep?
Well, yeah, but until the bar
There
is
you go.
finished, there you go.
That fade to white.
It's to transition into the cutscene because this was.
Oh god, she's going Ultra Instinct!
Oh no. So what you're saying, Jova, it's like in one of your Japanese animes.
Yeah, fitting since you know Otacon did have a thing for Sniper Wolf.
And there goes the fetal position again.
Yeah, we probably should still bring her inside a warmer place.
Yeah, like I said, I know it's implied that they live, but I think just
I
a
guess
little
Grabby
cutscene
will collect her later, I guess.
Yeah, I guess we can assume he's tailing us. Wow, wasn't that a nice bout of nostalgia?
Well,
we
nothing.
got the
Oh, and we
railgun.
got the railgun.
Now that's a thing of beauty.
Da 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 da.
Now this is a real sniper rifle.
Sure, make all your jokes about overcompensating something, but let's see you actually laughing while you actually be blasted by ionized plasma.
Yo, Snake, I finished laundering that railgun you picked up just now. Knock yourself out.
I love it. He was already hacking into it while we were picking it up.
Time for another bedtime story, Snake.
All right.
This one's about crying wolf. You don't need me to tell you there's whole nations in Africa tearing themselves apart in the name of ethnic cleansing.
Yeah.
Well, she was born into that environment. When she was a little girl, her village was attacked by rival armed factions. Her parents and siblings were slaughtered, and she was left a refugee. She took her last surviving relative, her baby brother, and ran as far as she could away from the war zone. One day, they came across an enemy unit, so she took her brother and hid in an abandoned shack. And then her brother started to cry. She knew that if the soldiers heard the noise, they would find them and kill them both. So she wrapped her hand as tight as she could around his mouth. As the footsteps gradually went away, she came back to her senses. Her brother wasn't crying anymore.
Oops.
Horrified, she pulled her hand away, covered in sweat and spit. He wasn't breathing.
Jeez.
They say wolves eat their own pups when they die. She was spotted wandering through the thick of battle, carrying her dead brother in her arms. She had visions, too. A wolf walking alongside.
Which is what we saw earlier.
Every night, the wolf would howl and cry, just like her brother did that day.
So her brother lives on as a spirit wolf.
She made it to a government-run refugee camp. But by then, her brother's body had rotted away. The camp was crowded with refugees like herself, and little children like her brother. Day and night, she was tormented by the cries of babies. The wolf that followed her heard her sorrowful screams and answered. He made his way around the camp, and one by one, he silenced the children.
Yeesh.
She tried to stop it, but she was powerless to stop the wolf. A few days passed, and on the eve of the enemy's raid, there wasn't a child left. The adults who survived were torn up pretty bad. Of course, there was never any wolf in that camp. She was the one who killed those babies. But she couldn't bring herself to admit it. She couldn't bear the thought of herself going from one baby to the next, howling like a wolf, snuffing out their little lives. And she never did, even as crying wolf, a lonely beast forever stalking the battlefield. Snake, fighting with you made Wolf finally accept what she'd done. She was cleansed by you.
See, you
hopefully.
did
The
it
cries she
good.
heard of children on the battlefield have been silenced. It's because of you. You ought to be proud. 3 down, 1 to go.
Only one more BB.
What's left is Mantis.
Mantis, huh?
But you should know, Snake, She's been controlling all the other beasts.
Yeah, turns out Mantis has been controlling all the other beasts.
Don't let her get her hooks in you.
I mean, what's the worst she can do?
She's only named after Psycho Mantis, of all people.
I mean, all she can do is to actually check your console and noting that the PS3 has no games, so she can give up.
I'm gonna move your controller by the power of my will alone.
Thankfully, we'll have to use
I've
the
already
six
seen
axis.
that. Oh, good lord.
Can you imagine?
I'm actually surprised we didn't get a 6x6 gimmick, because Kojima's all
Alright.
about using...
We're actually going to get one of the lines that would have to be re-recorded if they ever re-release this game.
Again, another parallel to Sniper Wolf.
Of course.
Only this time the wolves are rendered better. Yeah, go Giffinel or something.
You know, Jova, this is the sad part. This wolf model looks better than the wolf models in the Alpha and Omega movies.
I mean, when they were released around this time?
The first one was released after this, actually, too. That's the thing, and yet that wolf model looks better, in my opinion.
What?
Also, Tio, we're trying to have a moment here. You can't be bringing
I
the
know
whole
what I
living
said.
hell shit here.
Oh, hold on.
Oh,
Do this.
you're aware of Alpha and Omega, Shiroi?
No, she's referring to what I
That's
said
not what I
before,
was
but,
referring to, but yes, I am aware of those movies. But carry on.
Alright, so like Teo said, like we're actually, if this game gets re-released, there are some couple references to the PS3 that need to be removed, and we're actually going to get the more prominent one in a moment.
Alright.
So, yeah, as you may have noticed, Crying Wolf actually gets carried off by a wolf in this one, which, okay, granted, if Teosuri is correct, I guess Drebin will still pick her up from the wolf, but it is interesting in that regard.
Well, Jova, I got you.
Nice game.
Alright, so, well, here it is. Listen to this.
Hold it, Snake. Time to change the disc. I know, it's a pain. But you need to swap disc 1 for disc 2. You see the disc labeled...
You know, given what's the first Metal Gear
Hold on.
Master Collection...
Oh, that's right. We're on the PlayStation 3, aren't we?
TM.
Dual layered, too. No need to swap.
Damn it, Otacon. Get a grip.
Stop breaking the fourth wall.
We just fixed
Hold on.
it.
I don't know line from Otacon. What an age we live in. I wonder what will come up next. Next thing you'll be telling me that they'll make a PS5 where there's no load times or something.
It's funny, back when the PS4 did not even exist, there were a lot of fake rumors floating around, and one of them said that it was supposed to actually read your ID card and create an avatar based on that.
You know, ironically enough, with the PS5, we are back to using multiple discs with some games now, so...
Well, the thing
Full circle.
Well, the thing is, the PS4 also had, specifically something like Last of Us Part 2 and Red Dead Redemption 2.
Right?
Yeah,
like, it's interesting how it really old has come around.
It is true, but it's quite. I will argue it's different because in the PS4 and PS5 discs, you install both discs all at once, so you don't actually have to swap mid-game like you would in the old days. So. Alright, see you for the next part, everybody, where we finish off Act 4, if I remember correctly. See ya.
Yeah.
See ya.